All right, welcome everybody to the Wednesday afternoon team call. Today, I'm going to go over just a couple of announcements just because it's super exciting with the launch of Let's Get Up with Sean T. As you guys know, there's the CEO promo code, which basically you can get somebody onto your team as a brand new coach if they don't have Beachbody On Demand. With Beachbody On Demand, Shakeology, and the VIP package for the early release for $100. And if they already are Beachbody On Demand members, the completion pack is $90. So absolutely incredible. Inside of our team, we've been sharing CEO codes. So if you have a discount coach on your team that's not going to use it, just ask them if they'll share it with you. I've been doing that, and I've been pawning off discount codes and CEO codes to Beth and Melissa Zeidler, a couple of my coaches. And with that being said, I'm going to give you guys an idea of I have a lot of discount coaches that weren't using their codes. I've been sending them to these guys. Beth Isbell is at like Success Club 70 and still going in the last 2 days from the launch of Let's Get Up. It's like 35 new coaches, PS coaches to our team from this launch. Melissa Zeidler, she's a newer coach, completing her first year in May. She has signed 6 coaches in the last 2 days, and she's working on her 7th today. So what I want to share with you guys about that is, like, if you are a brand new coach and taking action, and we'll talk a little bit about taking action, like what Melissa did from, signing 7 coaches in the last 2 days of this challenge. If you're a newer coach or just getting started, or an Emerald that's been an Emerald for a while, and you take action on something like this, that's literally going from just coach status or Emerald to what you need for a Diamond, aside from producing your 2 Emeralds. So with that being said, I also want to just talk about the Take Action Challenge and just taking part in that. For example, Michelle Harris won $100 this past week. Beth Isbell, who I just mentioned, earned a trip to Hard Rock in Mexico. She just got back from Unico with the team last week, and she earned a spot for 2 to the Hard Rock. I personally won $250 in a Beachbody apparel from the Take Action Challenge. What I love about the Take Action Challenge is it doesn't have anything to do with your results, only with the activities that will produce the results, which are inviting people into your bod group and using the Success Club System activity tracker online. I want to be honest with you guys. Sorry, Haley, I'm taking a little bit of your time. Is when the first week of the Take Action Challenge, I was sending out hundreds of invites to my customers, to my coaches through my bod group. And I was not tracking on, to be honest with you, I asked Beth Isbell, I was like, where do I even track? How are they counting the tracker for like the Success Club System activity tracker? How are they tracking that? Do I have to like submit it or something? And she's like, oh, you just log in. It's in your Coach Online Office on the phone. And I don't use my phone for the Coach Online Office. So I personally had never seen that. So just want you guys to know that I'm just like you guys in many ways. I'm learning as I go. And if I don't know something, I just ask somebody. So never be afraid to ask questions if something doesn't make sense. So for the past 7 days, I've logged my Success Club System activity tracker from my phone. And I made a little YouTube video for those that don't know where that's at, because I searched online digital activity tracker. I couldn't find anything. So Beth had the answer for me though. So shout out to everyone taking action on that. If you haven't started taking action yet, I want you to start taking action. Also, Courtney, another example, one of our downline coaches, Courtney, in her second business center was just an Emerald with 2 coaches, and she took it. She had 3 coaches. She took it to Diamond in the past 2 days with the CEO codes. So she was Emerald in her second business center, signed 6 coaches, helped 2 of those coaches of hers go to Emerald, and she went to Diamond basically in like 2 days with that promo code. So shout out to Courtney as well on that. Now we're going to introduce our guest speaker today, Haley. Haley Hendel. She signed up as a coach in 2016, but she's mentioned that she didn't really start working on her business until 2018. She leads a 5-star Diamond team. She's been in Success Club 10 for 40 months, and she's currently working on 2-star Diamond in her second CBC. And her topic today is how to create massive impact in your business with consistency. So with that being said, Haley, I'm going to pass the time over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I am seriously so excited to be here. I always feel so honored when I get asked to speak as a guest on a call, because just a couple of years ago, I had no intentions of building a business at all. I never saw myself as a leader or as a mentor. So if you are sitting there thinking that same thing, let me just tell you that a lot can change as you grow in this business. Do I have permission to share my screen?
I will give it to you.
Perfect. Thank you. I have to
There you
have
go.
some pictures on there because I will go off on tangents. I've got notes too, because if I don't, Lord knows what will come out of my mouth. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. That way you have something pretty to look at. Okay. Can you guys see this? Wait, I better just share just this screen so I can pull up my notes. Okay. Here we go. Listen, anybody can coach. You don't have to be, an expert at Canva, okay? Or at Zoom. All right. So as Scotty mentioned, today I'm going to be talking about how to create massive impact in your business with consistency. Let me just tell you, this business is truly built on consistency and time, okay? And that is one of the biggest things that I have found over the past 5 years. And let me just start off by saying there is absolutely no secret to success in this business. Okay. I always feel like when I hear from top coaches in the network that every time I'm going to sit there and be like, okay, they've got it. They're going to tell me exactly what I need to hear. It always happens still to this day. But I'm telling you right now, there is no secret. You just have to get out there and get on the field and start playing. Okay. You have to allow yourself to let go of the fact that you don't have time to waste sitting on the sidelines. You have to get out there, and I got to get this Facebook off because it is beeping and I am not here for that. Okay. Sorry about that. So as I mentioned, don't waste your time on the sidelines. Okay. There's never going to be a perfect time. It's a whole saying, like if you have kids or you're waiting to get married and you're like, well, you just want to wait a couple of years until X, Y, and Z falls into alignment. Well, if you're waiting for that, it's probably never going to happen. It's the same thing with coaching. Okay. You're never going to be ready. There is no secret sauce. There is no perfect way to build a business or to be a coach. You just have to take action and trust yourself enough to take the risks in order to get the reward with coaching. And that reward looks different for everybody. So my advice, stop waiting, stop researching, stop being on training calls just to grab all the information that you can before starting. You have to get out there and start doing. You don't need more information. You don't need learn how to grow your following more. You don't need to know how to build social media and make everything look pretty. You just have to get out there. You'll figure it out along the way. Help serve people with quality content, with real life-ish that is going on. Rinse and repeat. Okay. So let's get into, actually, you know what? I was going to get into it, but I want to have you guys do something really quickly. Get out a piece of paper if you have one. If not, you can do it in your brain. That's totally fine too. This is probably one of the most helpful tools I have ever used in my life. So I want you to get out that paper, get a pen, pencil, whatever. And I want you to draw 2 circles. There's going to be a really big circle, and then there's going to be a smaller one inside of it. Okay. You can make it look like a donut if you want. If you're trying to be healthy, don't make it look like a donut. Okay. So what I want you to do on the outside in that bigger circle, right? I want you to write things that we can't control. Okay. So we can't control if people say yes or no to our invite. We can't control what our coaches do. We can't control the transformations that our clients get. If you've got some that you want to share, drop them in the chat. We can't control how many likes we get on our pictures. We can't control how many followers we have. All right. And on the inside of that circle, I want you to write down things that we are in control of. We are in control of our thoughts. We are in control of our actions. We are in control of how we show up on social media. We're in control of our habits. And at the end of the day, what I'm talking about today, we are in control of the level of commitment and consistency that we give to our business, but that we also give to our journey. Okay. So where should my focus be? With coaching, I feel like our focus really should be in 3 different places. It needs to be on our journey, right? Putting on our own oxygen mask for helping somebody else put on theirs. You hear it every time that you're in a plane. And I still don't know why I use this analogy because I definitely do not like flying. So we're just going to go with it. It's the easiest. Your focus needs to be on your social media, staying consistent there because people are watching you whether you believe it or not. And every day you have a choice to make. You have a choice as soon as you wake up, as soon as your feet hit that floor, to decide how you're going to show up today. You have control over that, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we know that God has control, but we have some control in how our day goes. So an aspect of that is how we show up on social media. And the third area is in our activities. I hear it all the time, right? We all hear this, that the business activity tracker is not something that you follow for a few days, and then you see success. You don't follow it for a few weeks. You don't follow it for a month. And then something glorious and something exponential happens in our business. This has to be a habit. And like I said, we hear it all the time. It's like beating a dead horse, but it has to be said because that is a vital part of our business. Vital means life. It's giving us life. It's giving our business life. Okay. So to break this down for you guys, this whole job that we have as a coach, it all starts with us. This entire thing, the day that you signed up to be a coach was the day that you started committing to your journey, and you probably signed up as a coach because you needed a little bit extra accountability. You wanted to stick to it. You knew that that meant other people were going to be watching you, and it means that you had to show up. And the coolest part about these 4 pictures, and I know that I'm in 2 of them, but the premise is the same, is that without that girl on the left starting her journey 5 years ago, those 2 women in the middle who have become some of my closest friends, they wouldn't have had those journeys. They wouldn't have had those transformations. I probably wouldn't have had my second postpartum transformation had I not been the girl on the left at first. And that to me has been a true testament of my level of consistency in this business, is that for the past 5 years, being the girl that used to not be able to stick to something, being the girl who used to piece together workouts at the gym and stay there for 2+ hours and did the whole Pinterest 30 days to a bigger butt and let me see how little calories I can eat, whatever was out there, I tried doing, and I couldn't stick with it. And this has been the one thing for 5 years. It's been a constant in my life. And I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about that too. But again, consistency is probably one of the most common terms I feel like that we hear as coaches, but it can be one that we tend to underestimate the most as well. And we all know this business is not built overnight. You don't wake up after a week of being a coach and you just have this rock star killer business, even though we want so badly for that to happen. Sometimes it doesn't, right? But at the end of the day, what we're doing, it's not a phase. This is a lifestyle, right? You make it into a lifestyle, you build the trust. And think about just for a second, when you first started, the very first Beachbody program that you've ever did, right? P90X, maybe it was Insanity, maybe it was, I don't know, Turbo Fire, like whatever it was, 21 Day Fix, whatever it was, that first program you did, odds are you probably went all in to the best of your ability. You woke up every day, followed your nutrition plan, you got your workout in, you stayed consistent in your habits, even though it may have been hard. Some days may have been easier than others. But after that program ended and you took your after pictures, did you stop there? Probably not, right? Did you stop sharing what was working for you? Did you shy away from talking to people about the program you had been following? No, you continued to bring them on the journey that you were going through. And guess what? You picked up and started your next program, and you just kept going. You continue to show up because of that follow through, and because you didn't stop after your program ended. People started to trust you and trust that what you were doing was actually working. So think about the flip side of that. Like, what would have happened if you stopped after 21 days or 30 days or 60, 90 days, whatever it is? Your business and your journey, right? Both of them, if you stop short after 21 days or 30 days, whatever it is, it's going to flatline. But because you've continued in your journey and you remain dialed in, you're continuing to build trust through that level of consistency. And the first thing, again, that I want to share is your energy and your commitment to your journey has to come first and foremost. And ask yourself, are you interested or are you committed? It's the same thing with personal growth. Like, there is a true direct correlation between what you're doing internally and externally for yourself that is going to reflect in your business. Okay. And if you're feeling weird in your business, I want you to reflect on what it is that you're doing. Are you reading personal development that is something that is targeting where you're struggling at? How are you feeling with your workout? Is it something you wake up excited for? Or are you just kind of like, I don't really know if this is for me type deal? You need to be excited about what you are doing every single day. So what program are you doing? How committed are you to your personal development, to your workouts, to your nutrition? We've got incredible programs for our fitness and for our nutrition. We need to be following those. This is what's going to bring forth that excitement and confidence in your social media and in your conversations. And again, the same thing runs true for the way that we are building and running and growing our business. We don't stop after a week of showing up on social media and doing the vitals. We don't stop after a month of inviting and trying to beat our best every month. And we don't stop after we've hit a goal and 6 months pass, right? We keep pushing, we keep going, and we keep growing with that. And, same thing goes with our mindset, right? When we're pushing for a certain goal in our business, we have to do more personal development and take care of ourselves more than we do the actual actions. Personal development cannot be put on the back burner. If you ever feel a lack of inspiration, a lack of motivation, a lack of drive, you have got to go back and ask yourself, what am I feeding into my ears? What are my eyes reading? What are my eyes seeing? Because that is where it's going to just continue to fuel that fire. Every time that you are reading a book or listening to a podcast, you're putting in good logs into your fire, those good dry logs. Okay. When you're not doing those things, you're just adding wet wood into a fire and it's eventually going to stop burning. Okay. So, coming through in your lack of action, you have got to, again, keep yourself inspired, motivated, and that's what's going to have a domino effect. This is so contagious with your team. And again, I know you've heard it like 978,000 times, but our business is truly built on us staying consistent. Literally, don't take a drink every time I say consistent. Okay, just keep sipping on your water. But I honestly feel like with consistency and improving your consistency, there are some things that I've learned that you can do that will just help you along the way, right? Setting goals for yourself, setting realistic goals for yourself, physically through programs, but also in your business. 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years. That's what's going to help you stay on track and to keep you in alignment with where you're going in your business. Place these goals somewhere that you're going to see them all the time. Okay. So at your desk, on your refrigerator, in your bedroom, in your bathroom mirror, like have those sticky notes and keep telling yourself and affirming yourself that those things are going to happen. With consistency, creating a schedule, right? The same way that you would schedule a meeting for work, schedule a meeting with yourself every single morning or afternoon or evening when you get that workout in, when you're doing your personal development, and really stay true to that. Don't let yourself, cancel that meeting. You've got to be there. You've got to stay committed. Okay. Going through to the social media aspect of things. This is my favorite part because I always get asked about my social media. And I think it's kind of funny because 5 years ago, and I'm going to show you a little video on here. 5 years ago, I did not look the way I do on social media. Now, I was this very shy, timid, afraid child who had just started something and fell in love with it. I didn't know how to share. I didn't know what to share. I didn't know really anything about it. I just knew that I was falling in love. So your social media is really a platform where people have the ability to get to know who you are. They start to like you. That's how you get friends on social media. And that's how you really build trust. And we hear it all the time, right? We're not just Beachbody coaches. It is merely a facet of a part of our life. It's a part of who we are, but we are so much more than that. We're doctors, nurses, teachers, parents, we're sisters, brothers, all of the things. So we have to make sure that we are sharing those things. Well, a couple of years ago, my social media was all over the place. I did not really have any sort of, any mission that I was coming across. I didn't share content that brought me joy. I didn't bring anything to the table that would serve others. It was just kind of, let me slap up a picture, find a good quote, and then maybe talk about what that quote was doing and how it was impacting my life. And then, of course, at this time, taking pictures and putting pick monkey words and graphics was like the cool thing to do. So those were all slapped up on my Facebook and on my Instagram. And to be honest with you, when I first started coaching, nobody really used Instagram. It was kind of an up and coming thing. And I was in the ending high school, starting college. And if you posted on Instagram more than once a week, like you were just asking for likes and compliments and stuff. And so getting out of that mindset was also really difficult. But again, I knew that I was completely falling in love with the way that I was feeling. I was falling in love with having a routine and having confidence. And to give you a little bit of like my story shuffled in here, after I was in college for a year and a half, I was studying to be a physical therapist. So I've always loved anatomy and chemistry and learning about the body and all those fun things. I eventually met my now husband, dropped out of college. I dropped out of college twice. I've got no degree. I don't know what the heck I'm doing with social media and content and networking. And so you just learn along the way. And in that period of time when I had started Beachbody, these are the programs that helped me feel super confident on our wedding day. We got married very young. I ended up getting pregnant 3 months after we got married. And I was going to be 21 years old with a baby, freshly married, had a baby before our 1 year anniversary. And I had no clue what I was doing. Okay. But the reason I share that is because it was these programs that really helped me feel super confident throughout that pregnancy journey and postpartum. And I didn't know how to share that because I didn't really have anybody around me who was going through it, but you just learn along the way. I found resources. I watched YouTube videos of Lindsay Matway and Scotty Hobbs. I learned from you guys on how to build my business. And it's not going to look perfect. It's not going to look pretty, right? We see it all the time on social media now, I feel like, where you have to have this perfectly curated feed. And I think that deters us and tears us away from sharing on social media because we feel like, well, we don't have a perfect picture to post, or we don't have a great camera, right? You have an iPhone, you have an Android, you maybe have a regular camera that you can plug up to your computer and you can upload and import pictures there. But what's so cool is the fact that social media is what allows us to bring people in on our lives and allows us to have an impact. It allows us to serve others. And even if we don't feel like we're doing it perfectly, or we don't know what to say, and we're not really good at writing longer captions, just do it. Use it as a journal to share your journey. And I love using that analogy of making it as a journal. But also remember that with a journal, it's a lot of I, right? You're writing about your life, you're writing about your experiences. So with that, bringing people in on what's going on in your life, but remembering to give to others, to remember to serve, remember to give content that is going to help, that is going to bring light in this world where there's a lot of darkness and there is a lot of noise and it gets kind of sticky, and how to set yourself apart. But just keep going, try and keep up with the trends that are going on as best as you can. And just to give you a little scroll, started from the bottom. I'm telling you, very little following. I was unsure about how to talk about Beachbody. There's no real content or posts that served other people. You can tell a lot of pick monkey words all up on there. I had a couple of transformation pictures, but I was really just slapping things up there to slap them up there. So you fast forward now, I'm making sure that I have transformation pictures constantly up in my top 9. I've got reels. I'm sharing pictures of my kids. I'm sharing mom life tips, all of these things that, it becomes shareable content. It's relatable content. It's things that allow me to, yes, share my story and share the journey that I've been on and the vision that I've got for the future. But I'm also making sure that I'm serving my people where they're at. And I remember who I was 5 years ago and talking to people like, they need to hear it for the very first time. They're going to be following other Beachbody coaches. They're going to be following people that are in other network marketing companies, other people who have got fitness programs and nutrition programs. But what's going to set you apart is the way that you share and the things that you share and how you relay that information to those on social media. And so started from the bottom. Now we're here. I've had an exponential growth in my following. And I don't say that to say that you need to have a large following, because you absolutely do not. The number of followers you have does not equate to the level of impact that you are going to have. But my social media looks different. I've got confidence in sharing my story about coaching and sharing my story about my fit camps. And I'm sharing content that, again, is relatable and shareable and entertaining. But the one thing that has remained true and has remained the same from 5 years ago when you saw those weird pictures to where I'm at now is I haven't stopped. I have not stopped sharing. I have not stopped posting. I continue to show up every single day and share my story and share more about me and just share the real life stuff. Nobody wants this perfect life plastered on social media. I'm not going to get on there and pretend like I've got it all together when I really don't. I share the messy, I share the ugly, but I also make sure that I'm sharing the good. And people want to see that. They need to know that you're real and that you are someone that they can relate to. And that is truly, I think, one of the things that I get asked the most is, how do you stay on top of it in your stories, right? Like, how are you always on your Instagram stories without being on your phone all day long? And it looks different no matter what season of life that you're in, whether you're working, you're staying at home with your kids, right? It looks different for all of us. But one thing that I want to give you a little tip with your social media and your stories and being consistent there and sharing is just find a couple of things every single day that you want people to know you for. So for me, every single morning, I get up, I take a morning selfie in my bathroom downstairs because it's right next to my office. I share devotions. I share clips from this little, I don't even know what you want to call this book. I don't know. This little book. It's got fun little quotes in it. I share passages from books that I'm reading to bring inspiration and motivation, but people know that every single morning they're going to get that when they come to my stories. I've got that level of consistency there. I show my workouts every single day, and not to toot my own horn, but to show people that you can show up for yourself, right? When you're pregnant, when you've got little ones running all over the place. My kids are always in my workout videos climbing on me. And I do that so other people can see that they can do this too. That's the whole point of our social media, right? Is to share our story, share our journey, inspire others. And by us showing up for ourselves there, we're helping other people see that they can show up where they are at too. Yes, it's going to be hard, but at the end of the day, that's the beautiful part about it, is that we were made to do hard things, that we can do hard things. We are capable. And so we have to continue to show people and help them and meet them where they're at. So that's a little bit about social media for you. And the last section that I want to touch on is, again, the one that is beaten over the head 1,005 times, but there is a reason why we have this tracker. Okay. And listen, I know this is the printable version. The one online looks a little bit nicer. I'm OG pen and paper. I don't even know where you can print it off anymore. Thank God I saved it to my computer. The online one is great though. Take action challenge, go do it. But again, this is not something that we do for a week and then we start seeing insane results in our business. We don't just do it for 2 weeks out of every month. We don't just do it for 6 months in a row. This is something we have to do every single day. It has to become a habit. It is something that truly allows us to track our success, but to also track our level of consistency, right? Because when you fill this out every single week and you go to look at it and you're filling out that last section on Wednesday, and you're printing out your next one, or you're looking online to a fresh start of a week, you see the holes in your business and the areas that you need to work on, the areas that you need to be more consistent on. And so if you do have holes in your tracker, I would definitely recommend going and finding the training videos or reaching out to your upline coach and figuring out, how can I fix this? How can I get more confident in my connections with people? How can I get more confident in my inviting? How can I grow my following if that's something that you want to do, right? How do I show up my Instagram stories in a way that is going to allow me to connect with others and have that impact and to bring some sort of entertainment, right? Entertainment is education. It is, oh my gosh, motivation, inspiration. It's just being funny, right? Like whatever is your thing, own it, lean into that and share it. And like I said, if you're having trouble in any of these areas and you've got holes and you see that there's some sort of level of inconsistency, reach out to your upline, lean in on your team, and just keep showing up. Try and get that 1% better every single day, because I'm telling you, consistency in your vitals. Again, I remember when the business activity tracker came out and I was sitting at Super Weekend with one of my coaches, and she looked at me and she was, I mean, in and out of Emerald every single week, couldn't keep a coach on. And she looked at me and she said, this is going to be it. This is going to be what changes my business. And I was like, okay, Jennifer, do your thing. Like, I hope so. Fingers crossed, I mean, I believed in her, but at the same time, and she sat there, and for an entire year, she did this. And the following Super Weekend, she sat there as a 1-star diamond coach. And she was like, that is what changed the game for me. It was just tracking and showing up for myself and just really putting pen to paper, taking that CEO mindset and running with it, and understanding that you have to treat this business like a business. You have to hold yourself accountable for the activities that you are doing, right? And I want you to, with with being consistency, if you struggle with this, it's the same thing with like going through a program. And this is maybe different for everybody, but I love when I go through a program, I always give myself a little reward. Maybe it is, not something you spend money on. You could just ask your spouse for a massage. Maybe you want to get a new pair of shoes, a new sports bra, or go get your nails done or something. Do the same thing when you're consistent in your habits for your business. When you do your tracker for an entire month, reward yourself with a little something, recognize yourself, celebrate the small goals that you set for yourself, because this is such a powerful motivator. It's what's going to build your confidence in this business, right? And honestly, like a perfect example of a reward from doing your Success Club system activity tracker is the fact that you're changing lives, right? We don't just check this off to check this off. Like every box, think about a name going into that box. Like that's whose life I get to change today. That's who I get to have a level of impact on. That maybe a month ago, I probably wouldn't have even seen them on social media. We wouldn't have connected on social media. Like how freaking cool is that? And every conversation that it may just be a conversation, that may just be it. But when they decide that they want to commit to your fit camp, or they want to ask you more about coaching, or they want to be on your sneak peek, like that is a reward in and of itself. And those things, recognize that for yourself, celebrate that, celebrate how cool it is that this job allows you to meet other people on social media. I have never met half my friends on my team until we had our retreat last month. But it's so crazy that like I feel, even with like JT, like I feel like he's my friend. If I saw him at the grocery store, like I would go up and hug him, COVID permitting, as I'm coughing, excuse me. But it's just so cool, the impact that social media has. And that in and of itself is such a powerful motivator. It is going to be, what in the world is going on with my throat right now? Don't mind my dinosaur cup. Dear Lord. All right. So again, that is truly going to build your confidence in yourself with this business. It will help you see that you can reach the success and the goals that you have for yourself. Like it is such a great way to reinforce the meaning behind why you do what you do. Celebrating you and yourself is going to strengthen your behaviors. It reminds you of why you set your alarm clock early in the morning, why you listen to personal development on the way to work, why you have late nights during the week, even though your day was crazy with work, school, the kids, whatever you've got going on. Just building that consistency in your habits, it's so, so important. It's truly been the one thing over the past 5 years that has really helped me move the needle in my business is just staying the course, putting my blinders on, not comparing my business or my success or my results to anybody else. But by taking the vitals, 10xing them, setting the goals for myself, and really just seeing myself as that business owner and as that coach, right? Like you have to help yourself be driven and motivated, even like if there's no one else around you. Thank God we all have a team, right? We've got people in our corner. We've got people who are cheering us on constantly. But on those days when it's really hard, like what's going to pull you out of that? Like what's going to help you see that there is so much right here in front of us? This has truly given me the confidence that I needed. It's what's helped me build trust with those on my team because they see me showing up every single day. It's what's going to help you build trust with the people who are following you on social media, because they're going to start seeing you as living proof that they can stick to a plan, that they can feel confident in a plan. And now we have such a cool job and a cool title that allows us to help other people do that same exact thing. Our consistency is so contagious. Our consistency is what's going to help other people, whether it's just going on a walk every single day or reading their devotional every single morning, or, time blocking and taking a day to unplug on the weekends, whatever that is for them, just staying consistent in those activities. And last thing that I want to share is this quote that I absolutely love. It says, take responsibility and initiative for yourself. Stop blaming your circumstances on what you are able to change. And actually, there's so much power in that, because a lot of times, we'll say, well, we don't have an upline, or we don't have a team, or my team's not doing anything. And that is on us. We have to make sure that we are constantly recruiting, that we are constantly leading the way, that we are leading from the front, and that we are staying consistent. Because I'm telling you, that has been the one thing. Again, this business has ebbs and flows. It is always going to, and it's okay that it does, But what we have to make sure that we are doing is, again, going back to those circles that we drew, we've got to control the controllable. We control our habits, we control our thoughts, we control our actions, and we control our consistency when it comes to our journey and also this business. And honestly, before I even got on this call, I was like, I do not feel like I'm even qualified right now to be on this call, because I have felt I'm in that ebbs and flow. Like, I'm kind of in a lull right now. We hit elite for the first time last year, and a lot of my team just seems to be like going down, and I am trying to pull us up. I'm like, please, Lord Jesus, give me the strength, But again, I have to go back to the things that I can control. I can't control someone else's business. I can't control their activities, but I can control what I do. I can control how much I'm putting into my business. I can control my conversations, the way I'm sharing on social media, and all of these different things. So I want to leave you with that encouragement, is that even though, you may be looking at this call and seeing me and being like, oh my gosh, 5-star diamond. Listen, I'm not a 5-star diamond right now. I'm a 2-star diamond, which is awesome. And I'm super excited about that. But at the same time, it's hard not to feel defeated, and we all can feel defeated in our business, but keep pushing, keep persevering. You have got whatever is in front of you, and just keep staying the course. Stay consistent in all that you are doing, because I'm telling you, it pays off, my friends.
Yes, it does. Haley, that was absolutely incredible. You spoke on one of my favorite topics of consistency, but I love that you also taught so many incredible things also about social media. I was watching, I was like, man, my social media still looks a little messy, and I've been doing this for 10 years. So thank you so much for sharing everything that you've shared, and also being real with us about that. That you're recognized as a 5-star elite team, but like today you're leading a 2-star team. And I feel those same things that you shared. Like, I've been speaking on about 1 call a week as well in the evenings, and they're always like 14-star diamond in the first, 8 in the second, diamond 1 star in the third. And I'm like, it's more like 6, 1, and diamond right now, but I'll go with that. So I want everybody to hear that, because sometimes as a newer coach, as a new emerald, a new ruby, a new diamond, you could drop your rank and be like, you could feel like you're the only one that goes through that, unless you hear things like that. So thank you also for being vulnerable about that. I love your story, Haley. And I want to ask, before we head off, does anybody have any questions for Haley?
Yeah, I'm an open book. I will answer anything about anything. Anything about anything. I'm looking in the chat, but I just love all of this. You guys were like blowing it up. I was like, don't look.
All right, Tate, you have a
That's
question?
a good question. What do you feel like has been the best thing for your social media growth over the past several months?
Oh my gosh, reels. If you're not doing reels, you have to do reels. I'm telling you. And listen, with reels though, do not go on there and flex and shake up your energize. Listen, Tate, your reels are blowing up. I love your challenges. Find something that fits you and your niche and just run with it, right? For me, I think I'm a very funny person. Maybe other people don't find me funny. I laugh at myself all the time over stupid stuff. So all my reels, I want to make people laugh. I want them to go to it and be like, that chick's funny, And I just have fun with it. You find a funny voiceover, whatever. I don't even know what they're called these days. Scroll through at night, right? That is the time where I would say, if you are scrolling, use it for your business, scroll, save some audio, take that audio and twist it in a way that fits you and fits what you want to talk about and what you want to share. For me, it's mostly mom life, parenthood stuff. And sometimes it'll be something random about me. I don't know. But twist it and do that. And I'm telling you, that has been a game changer. That is exponential growth for sure. Because whenever Instagram rolls something out that's new, and listen, I do not know all the ins and outs about Instagram. I'm still learning, but when they roll out something new, you gotta get started with it, because it is just a great way for you to find other people to connect with, right? We hear it all the time, or maybe we even say it I'm running out of people to invite. I'm running out of people to talk to. That is an awesome way to get new eyes on your profile. And again, don't just talk about Beachbody stuff. Don't just talk about working out unless you're Tate can do the fitness challenges. I love seeing those fitness challenges, but it's a great way for you to connect with new people, and they get excited about coming to your page. They know what they're going to get in those conversations, right? Even though someone may be coming to my page for motherhood or just because they think I'm silly, they're going to start watching my stories, hopefully, if they're following along. And I've got everything in there from my nutrition, right? And that's kind of why you have to cycle back to talking in your stories and sharing about what it is that you're doing when it comes to your fitness camps, when it comes to coaching, because you never know who's going to be watching your story, who needs to hear it. And he was like, okay, wait a second, I'm going to answer that poll. Those workouts look great. Or maybe I'm really struggling with that too. Or thanks for sharing that devotion. You just never know the conversations that can spiral from that. So definitely Reels has been the biggest thing. And I think too, there's always things going around about how to, twist the algorithm with saves and shares and all that stuff. Just make sure that a lot of the content that you're giving is something that is relatable and that is something that people want to share, right? That is giving value. That is the biggest thing with social media, is just making sure that you are giving value. It does not matter how many followers you have or how many likes you get at all.
I love that. Any other questions? Yeah, and Tate can do fitness reels because he has a 12 pack, so
I know.
legal.
Okay. I love that. It's so great.
All right, we'll let you guys sign off because it is the last day of the CEO promo code, and we're in this challenge. So I'm going to ask you guys if you have taken a little video while Haley's been talking, our photo, tag her on Instagram in her stories and give her some thanks for the value that she gave us and taught us today. And we'll see you guys on the next call. See you guys later. See you, Haley.